Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us for 12 News at 4. I'm Tram Mai.
I'm Troy Hayden. A big financial crisis at Isaac Elementary School District, creating frustration for thousands of students and parents not knowing if school is going to be in session, and hundreds of teachers who don't know whether or not they're going to get paid.
Today, for the first time, we're hearing from a member of the Isaac School District's governing board. 12 News journalist Jade Cunningham joins us live now with what he had to say. Jade?
Yeah, good evening. So I spoke with Harry Gerwal earlier today just about this whole situation. He made it very clear that he was not speaking on behalf of the governing board. Instead, he was speaking out as a community and business leader. But he tells me that he has actually had concerns and seen red flags about the financial status of this school district since joining the governing board in 2019. At one point, he says he sat down with Superintendent Dr. Mario Ventura and told him the district looked like it was on the verge of bankruptcy. There were concerns, massive concerns. Even the Arizona Auditor General had been flagging the district for several years, identifying it as one of Arizona's highest risk districts financially since December of 2020. Now, he is not sure about why it took so long for action to be taken, but he knew there were problems that weren't being addressed. The latest annual financial report presented to the governing board, he says, showed a $4 million deficit. He also was shocked to learn, though, shortly after that it was much more than that.
What I didn't know until that January 14th meeting with the State Board of Education was that the district had failed to submit the paperwork for $9 million reimbursement through ESSER. Now you're at 13. That's what I was aware of. And that's when I realized we were at 13. We weren't at 4. I'm thinking, man, okay, 4, that's terrible in its own way. But it's not 13. It's not 20. And it's not 34, depending on whose numbers you're looking at. All I know is that we are in a deep, deep hole, and that we need to be able to, somehow come out of that.
Now, of course, the latest numbers show that the district overspent about $28 million. I asked Gerwal about that. He tells me that the receiver is looking into it, and he is fully confident that the receiver will be able to identify where that money went, how it was spent. And I also asked him about allegations towards the governing board with wrongdoing. We're going to have more on his response coming up tonight at 5. Reporting live, Jay Cunningham, 12 News.
So to kind of paraphrase here, the district in some financial trouble for some time. They thought it was $4 million. $9 million was not, the paperwork wasn't submitted in time. That gets us to 13, but we still have the question now about the extra 15 million, right? Which is more than those first two combined, how that happened.
Well, so they know that the district was in a financial mess for some time. Now, according to Gerwal, the $4 million was just for this latest fiscal year. That was according to the annual financial report. The district, they had applied for all of these loans, and they also were not filling out the proper paperwork, or they had made mistakes on their paperwork when it was time for reimbursement from the federal government. So that was $9 million out of the hole right there. So according to Gerwal, the $4 million and the $9 million was just for this past fiscal year.
Well, but Jade, bottom line is this was accruing over years, and nobody, flagged it. Nobody, took the bull by the horns and tried to do something to stop it from adding up over the years.
Well, and that's the big question because, as I mentioned, Gerwal told me that he had known about some concerns, about some red flags over the years. As I mentioned, the Audit General had issued that report talking about how there were inaccuracies and there were questions about some of the financial doings with this school district, but it's still unclear why no action was taken much sooner.
There needs to be a lot of accountability.
But teachers are still on the job, right? Teachers are still on the job. School is still open for now. I don't know if Jade heard me. Yeah, it looks like they are going to stay in school for now. Thank you, Jade. Appreciate it.